I ain't played this in a while.
Bless him, Lord.
It's something a little snappy here for a change. She kept on getting weaker as day passed into day. The doctors gave no hope for her. She seemed to fade away. My hours were filled with constant dread, and time became a knife. Slowly and relentlessly cut the cord of life. Was a teacher in the region then. Some of us had heard how he'd healed the paralytic with the power of just his word. So with hope again rekindled, I went at once to see if I could find a man named Jesus from a town in Galilee. I began to search the city, and soon I saw the crowd. They were pressing in to touch him and called his name out loud. With the strength of desperation, I pushed them all aside. I threw myself before him, and from my knees I cried, Lord, come heal my daughter. Even now she's close to death. Her fever's uncontrollable. She fights for every breath. God's given you the power, and life is yours to give. If you'll just lay your hands on her, I know that she will live. No, she will live. Well, he'd just begun to go with me, and the face I saw with fear came towards me with the news I knew I didn't want to hear. And though I tried to still myself, I trembled when he said, why bother the teacher anymore? Your little girl is dead. Then Jesus touched my shoulder and told me not to grieve. And the trembling stopped when he looked at me and said, only believe. And then he sent the crowd away, except his closest men. And they followed right behind us as we started off again. We were still a long way down the road, and I heard the sounds and cries of the mourners and musicians as they strove to dramatize my grief they had no business in beneath a loud disguise. My wife just sat there silently and stared through empty eyes. Then Jesus asked the mourners, why is it that you weep? She isn't dead as you suppose. The child is just asleep. It only took a moment for their wells to turn to jeers. Who does this man think he is? Get him out of here. With authority I'd never heard the lips of any man. He spake and every word rolled out with the thunder of command. And in the sudden silence they all headed for the door, wondering what the reasons were they'd ever come there for. Then he called his 3 disciples who were with him on the way, and he led them and my wife and me to where our daughter lay. He took her by the hand and he told her child to rise, and the words were barely spoken when she opened up her eyes. She rose and came across the room and stood there by our sides. My wife knelt down to hold her, and at last she really cried. Then Jesus told us both to see our daughter had some food. But as to how her life was saved, not to speak a word, not to speak a word. Gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody what Jesus did for me. I gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody what Jesus did for me. Well, He gave me life when my hope was dead. I had grief, He gave me joy instead. I gotta tell somebody what Jesus did for me. Got to tell somebody. Gotta tell somebody. I gotta tell somebody what Jesus did for me.
Amen.